right, good morning, good morning, good morning. How you doing? I hope you had a great morning so far. We're gonna go ahead and get into it. I won't be on as long. I gotta figure out this schedule, and working on with this new tool has been a little bit of a challenge. Let me put my mic where I can hear me and it'll be perfectly fine. So yes, good morning. So I know it's been a while since I actually been doing before you took the trade analysis, so it's going to be very important that y'all get this information as fast as possible, so that way I can go ahead and open my floor. If you don't have a trading community, by all means click the link down below. It has my Twitter, my YouTube, my Instagram, my website. I'm one of the partner coaches at cheatcode.com. By all means, come join the community. We have a free trading floor. So if you feel like you're trading by yourself and trading alone, by all means, come join the community. We'll trade with you. We'll teach you how to trade, the whole nine. All right. But by all means, please subscribe to my YouTube. I got so much good stuff that's coming. I'm still getting all the script together and everything else, but I would love for you to go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell and notification. Some of my videos is already there, which I do a lot of mindset calls. By all means, check them out. I promise you it's going to make you a better trader. All right, so let's just go ahead and get into it. All right, so this is basically the NQ on the 30-minute chart itself. I kind of noticed something. It looked like we're trying to create some sense of like a mother baby over here, as if it's going to go ahead and try to get back to the upside. We do have a sell signal here where they pretty much are trying to push this down. I know they want the value gap that was created here. This is right after the bond market went ahead and opened yesterday, and we just pretty much propelled up. So now that we are around this level, I want to see a close below this level. That's the only thing that's going to tell me that they are working on trying to get through that. If they do not fill to that side, I can tell you this right now, it's going to give you a bounce. And then we're going to test out this order block that's sitting right on top of us. It's a bearish order block, but at the end of the day, this can pretty much go wherever it wants. So just be very, very careful at that order block, because I can see this happening. Well, we get a nice little bounce here, break across this auto fib, and then start to head up to here. And then you see this trend line that Cheat Code Algo already put right here. This is letting us know that this could be an angle that they're looking for, and we could get like a rising wedge type of action, and it could cause for the market to just go ahead and drop. Good morning, my neighbor. Oh man, I haven't done that in a little bit. You know what? I did tell somebody, I was like, I gotta bring that back. I haven't used it in a while, and I'm gonna go back to the roots. If you have not been at my mindset, I told myself I'm going back to the roots, which is basically getting back to foundation. So this is why I want to do BYTTT so much, so that way everybody can go ahead and get the information, and I'm going back to the roots. Good morning, my neighbor. All right, so anyways, but that's what NQ looks like it's doing, but I don't want to get too much into the day trading. I want to at least let people know what it looks like on an overall stand. So let's look at it from a daily standpoint. You can see on the daily, we pretty much are on top of a lot of bullish order blocks right here, right? So this is letting us know that the way the market is moving, it just wants to go on this upside. Could this be just consolidation so we can go ahead and attack all-time highs? That is a possibility. All right, I know there's not a lot of things that's good in the economy. There's not a lot of things that's actually working out to our, preserved favor. Oh, actually, this thing is doing a nice little setup here. I may have to do something here, because I was actually checking. Great. It says I'm signed in somewhere else. I might not be able to do it with y'all. Is this one signed in? No, actually it's not. I am not signed in to my TradeOvate anywhere. What are you talking about? Okay, looks like I won't be able to. I think the only way I can do it is right now. Let me give you a little tidbit. The 5-minute on the cheat code algo is kind of giving me one of the signals that I kind of like. Whenever I see this kind of setup actually pops up. One, you can already see we got ourselves this downtrend, which the algo is probably going to bring it into it as well. I got downtrend here with a little bit of a downtrend here. But if we look right here, we got an algo letting us know that we're above the auto fib, and if it breaks this level, which is also the 200, we may get a buy signal. Yes, I do see a bearish order block on top of it at the same time, but this is pretty much telling me that this could be a nice little opportunity to take NQ to the upside, and that could be our beginning of an uptrend. And what did we talk about this when we first were doing before you take the trade? This is a nice little uptrend, but it's not an uptrend until it makes a higher high. So this is a potential uptrend. As long as it respects this area, and this got 5 seconds, so it's not going to give me what I was expecting. If it actually closed above here, I probably would have took this, probably filled this imbalance that's right here, and then start to make our way up to here. Now, of course, that order block is sitting right here, so that probably would have rejected here and brought it back down. But at the end of the day, that would have been a good amount of ticks. And if you have not traded futures, or you want to learn how to trade futures, DM me. I could go ahead and book a one-on-one with you, and I could show you all the ropes. Right, so this would have been a nice little 50 to 60 ticks right there. That would have been a really, really good trade. All right, let's get back to the topic. So yes, the daily, and get rid of these drawings. All right, so the daily, it does look like we are pretty much going to try to make all-time high, right? Because not only do we have NVIDIA that just went completely bonkers yesterday, right? Which is putting a lot of weight on the QQQ. We got a lot of these tickers under the QQQ that is putting some real emphasis on how they want to be able to handle the market. You have Microsoft, your AMD. Well, AMD is not QQQ heavy, but you got that sentiment type of play with AMD, and quite a few of them. And if you have not like listed all top 10 of the QQQ inside of your watch list, I do suggest you do so. It's one of the things that we teach over at cheatcode.com, letting you know, hey, you know what, come have it set. If all of them in the 10 are actually moving, then there's a possibility that it's going to actually go in that direction. All right, so let's go back to the chart. All right, get rid of this. All right, so now let's see, let's come over to the weekly, because I wanted to point something out also on the weekly. On the weekly, we have done, and this is why I'm a little confused with how fast we're moving up through here. I wonder if we're coming into this area to try to fill some areas on this upside. But if you look at this, we kind of did 3 green soldiers, right? We got bullish candle, and then this is a weaker bullish candle, but it can't be the second one cannot be the shortest one, right? So this one is actually our shortest one right here. If you look at that, this kind of tells me we need some type of consolidation or a pullback or something to kind of let the market breathe, dissect all this uptrend, because this is just straight vertical. You can see that with the buy signal on the cheat code algo. So that's what's really giving me a little bit pause. But we got imbalances over here. We got wicks over here. We got a lot of things that needs to happen over here. So if there was anywhere that would be a rejection area, I would say probably from here to here is what they're looking for. But then again, it's also looking for this imbalance inside of here to here, which we're already inside of. All right, so those are the 2 areas that I'm pretty much targeting when it comes down to it, and we'll see what the market does when it's all said and done. Let's go ahead and move into the other parts of the world. The commodities, we got ourselves oil. Oil's been doing something that's very interesting, and I like it because it's only telling me that whatever is happening with this downtrend here, that there's a possibility they're going to pick up some more friends just to go ahead and make oil drop down a little bit heavier, because this bullish order block was going to be tough. Let me be a little bit more specific. So one of the things that I noticed, actually I'm probably going to have to come to the daily to kind of point it out. One of the levels that I kind of marked out was 77.58. Let me see if I can find it. 77.50. Oh, it pretty much put this change of character line right here. So this level right here was one of my biggest signs of concern. I wanted to know what oil was going to do with 77.58. I got 77.66. Let me double click here. Go to coordinates. Actually update this to 58. That way I can pinpoint exactly. So this was in my notebook at 77.58. And if you look here, we've been dancing over and over, right? So we kind of had a nice little up and up here. That's the bounce that happened roughly in August that I missed, and I was upset, right? Kind of took a nice little move to the upside. Looked like we was going to head to $100. But the moment that I realized we was coming to that weekly line, I knew it was going to start to turn around when we did close above it, and then we kind of created this ugly looking kind of head and shoulder type of move. But now with this price action that's happening here, it just looks like a bigger head and shoulder. So this little up move right now, I think they try to form one more part of this right side of the shoulder, but it has to get through this bearish order block, trigger this sell signal to be a buy signal, and avoid making this a death cross. So if it can avoid making this a death cross, then yeah, absolutely, I can see this kind of come here, get rejected at this area, and depending on how the market treats this area above $80, it will tell you if they have a lot of friends selling or a lot of friends buying. If they have friends buying, especially with the Saudis saying they want to cut production, so that way it kind of creates the demand and they can control the pricing, it's going to make things very interesting because it's going to allow for this to kind of take off and head into the 90s and 94s again and retest this level. But if this thing starts to break down or it cannot hold above the 200 EMA, I can see this have enough steam to come back over to this area and start to play into this bullish order block over here. So we're talking about back in March levels of south of $70. So I would say, if anything, mark out $70 and mark out, actually this one's probably gonna be tough, this $72.42. That's where we wicked that last week, and it kind of held from there. So let's go ahead and mark this as 70 flat. I want to see this from a psychological level standpoint. All right, so let's go ahead and continue with the commodities. Oh man, I am running out of time. I said I was gonna be on for 15 minutes. Lordy. All right, so let's go ahead to gold. So gold is looking really, really good. Surprisingly, I was thinking it's going to come a little bit deeper than where it actually came to, but it does look like it's trying to make itself another high and probably take out this 2087 level. So I would say, if anything, keep an eye out for gold. The way that it's kind of bouncing off of this bullish order block, it's giving me signs that it's a possibility that it is going to use this as support, and then this cheat code algo's uptrend, which is this dotted line that you see right here, might hold and really put some pressure on that 2000 level. If it does do that, then technically the market is supposed to come down, technically, but we'll see exactly what happens when it's all said and done. All right, so let's go ahead and get into another one. Let's get into silver. Silver is very similar to gold, so if gold is falling, silver is falling too, and vice versa. So you can see this little wick area here is very similar to this little wick area that's happening in gold too, right? So we had a nice little area here, nice area here, nice little downtrend here, nice little downtrend there. So they kind of operate similar, but the price value is different. Now, similar and exact is the opposite. All right, I don't want you to turn around and be like, well, Jeff, you told me when gold runs, silver runs. That's not what I said. They kind of move similar. So as long as it comes to level of key support in silver and gold is heading in that direction, they tend to follow each other. That means the market is looking at the commodities a little bit deeper, and they're just investing in the best valued commodity at the time that they get into the trade. So that said, it does look like there's a lot of selling wicks that's on top of it, from here, here, and here. Let me zoom in. And that's probably what we're looking for gold, for silver to kind of come down, maybe retest this upward trend line, and that's probably the same thing you'll get with gold. Let's get to the British pound. British pound, it does look a little interesting. It finally got tethered back to the NQ. For a little bit, we kind of was untethered from the NQ. You see, we had a nice little drop down, but NQ just powered through, and then we got this pullback here. It was consolidation here. So looking at this, it does look like we're probably going to continue to the upside over here on the British pound, and that should make the dollar even weaker, other than the market itself starting to appreciate more, right? So just keep an eye on that. And then natural gas. Natural gas. I don't understand natural gas. I'm not going to lie to you. This thing has done some very, very wild moves. It shoots up, it shoots down, and it goes sideways. If you think that it's going in a downtrend, then it starts hitting every stop loss along the way. It does its own thing. If there's anything that kind of has its own conversation away from the market, it looks like it's natural gas. So let's get back to the chart. So look at natural gas right here on the daily. It does look like it was trying to find some support to the upside when it was all said and done, and it looks like now, being under the 200 and having the death cross on top of it, it looks like it's starting to make its way to that downside. So if there's any level for natural gas to get to, it may be, I would say probably around this area here. Let me go ahead and zoom in. Oh, I'm in NGZ. That is not what I want. I want NGZ1. I'm gonna fix that. Yes. That one. NG. Hold on. Bear with me. I do not have the continuous chart. I like continuous chart. There we go. Alright, so I'm looking for this thing to kind of come down and actually check out this order block, see if it actually holds this level, and if it actually holds this level, it might curl up and do a little bit of a bounce. So I would say look out for the level around 2.678 for support. This will also take care of the extra space that we kind of had here, creating that imbalance when we switch contracts here. So yeah, just look out for that level because we kind of made a nice little beeline to that area itself. All right, let's go on over to the Russells. Russell tends to be the first one that kind of tells you what the market's doing, and it looks like it's telling us that it wants to stay bullish for a little bit and try to find a way to get past this 200-day moving average. So let's see if it can actually hold this uptrend. Remember what we said about potential uptrends. So we got a nice little higher low each time, right? As long as it doesn't break this potential uptrend, it will put pressure on this 200 EMA, and this could be our continuation for the Russells to head to that upside. Of course, we're going to have some news a little bit later. Nothing really too spectacular. I think everybody's waiting for the FOMC minutes, jobs reports, and the common things that we deal with. So yeah, just stay tuned for that. But if you really look at this level here, it could be an area where you want to see this above 1809, and if it holds 1809, we would continue to that upside. All right, and the last one is the dollar. This one pretty much dictates everything. I told my floor about this, and and we pretty much planned around it. I said the moment that we get through this fair value gap that was right here on the dollar, actually I kind of built it on the 4-hour. Let me show y'all what it is. Yeah, this one right here. As soon as we get through this fair value gap that was on the 4-hour, the market's going to rock it off, right? I didn't think it was going to get under the 4-hour fair value gap and then continue, right? So if we look at the current price action, the way the price is moving itself, we got under it, retested, and then started shooting down again. Right now, we're at a bullish order block. This is why we're bouncing on the dollar right now. This is why the market is actually pulling back. How much strength can we have going against this bullish order block so that way we could go ahead and make its way to the upside for the rest of the market? Well, first thing that needs to happen, you already see the stochastic is doing a bullish divergence right now. I'm not saying that the run is over, but that Asian session that happened with NQ, I think they hit certain levels that they were happy of hitting, and there's going to be a turnaround somewhere. Now, it might not be today, might not be tomorrow, maybe it'll be right after Thanksgiving. I'm not sure. I cannot give you that guarantee, but I will tell you this. This dollar has been beat up on the 4-hour. This dollar on the daily has been pushed down to this level. The dollar on the weekly has been pointing down, but at the end of the day, it is starting to give a little bit of a bend. I don't think we're going to get a dollar where it's pinned on the weekly. I don't think we're going to get that type of action. That means the market's going to rally, and it has no sense whatsoever as far as how it rallies. I do think on the weekly, we're going to get something along the lines of this. Something like a curl, maybe come back to the 50%, and then curl back down, and then just do some type of stair-stepping action to the downside. So if you are in calls, if you are in positions, I would say maybe consider taking something off the table, locking in some profits, being on the safe side, because the last thing you want to do is give back the profits after this epic run. We've been running for 3 weeks straight, and if we count this week, the way we opened up, we're talking about 4 weeks of just straight bullish action. So it's very important as you go ahead and deal with the market this week, you want to make sure that it's showing you what you're looking for to continue to the upside. All right, so that is my take for the dollar, and that pretty much covers everything here. I didn't get any messages about any tickers inside of here, by all means. If you've never been to my show before, I do allow you to post some tickers in there. I think I did a good broad overview on the commodities itself. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pick 3 tickers that I've been looking at. Where's my documents? Let's see. I'm going to do CCJ, PVH, and maybe, oh, I haven't looked at, actually, SMH. That might be the sleeper. Now that I think about it. All right, so let's do that. CCJ for the first one. Let me go ahead and grab my other chart, wherever it may be. Okay, there it is. All right, let me go ahead and take down some of the colors here, so that way I can see all of it nice and clear. Oh, actually, let me also tweak that because y'all probably not used to that yet. And I need my 200 EMA. All right, perfect. And we'll put this as no heat map candles. All right, so let's start with CCJ. All right, so I want to do a top-down analysis on this, so that way I can be able to understand. CCJ has had a nice little run, right? It's been pushing up. If you don't know who they are, they do non-energy minerals. I want to say that, yep, uranium is the one that they do. So this is a very, very good company. A lot of people know about it. This has been all over Reddit a couple of times during the pandemic, so a lot of people are kind of attached to it from there. So there is some volatility in that ever since that. I did have this marked off at $45 last week because I was seeing if we're going to close above this one. So I'm very curious if we're going to hold. If this actually holds the way I think it's going to hold, I probably will take a consideration to play this to the upside. Let's go over to the day. Well, you can see the buy signal here is letting me know that this is strong on a weekly. Going over to the daily, you already can see we had nice little setups here. Boom here, and boom right here. We're going to just continue this uptrend. The cheat code algo's trend line is right here, but I want to just go ahead and add an extra trend line. I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one here. Because this right here is going to let me know, boom, right? This is the area that I want to kind of see how the market reacts to it. If they can hold this, hey, good morning, Casey, how you doing? I don't have a lot of time. I could do one. I know I'm running a little different time frame, but I'm gonna be doing from 7 to 7:15 now. I'm running late because I kind of threw everything a little off. All right, cool. So I'll do one for you and then one for Casey. LOW. That sounds a little familiar. I'm gonna check that one out. All right, so let's go ahead and continue to this. So if we go ahead and put the cheat code algos trading plan, where's my trading plan? Boom, trade management. You'll see that we've pretty much been running for a while. We've been hitting a lot of levels. We're at TP3 right now. So I would say if anything, CCJ can get to $47, $48. That's probably where you want to go ahead and start getting out if you're getting into it right now. Next one, actually, you know what? Let me do low for you right now. Lows. Yes. Okay. All right. Oh, wow. They gap up to gap back down. Tuesday morning, or they said they must have had earnings. They must have missed on their earnings, so there's a nice little drop here. I would say this, the daily, you could see we were at the entry level, so this could have really started a nice, massive move to the upside. Now, could it be that they came down? Oh, I love AVGO. Good one, good one. Now, could this be one that it actually came down to this level just so that way it could try to fill the imbalance that's created with the gap right before here? That's a possibility. So I want to see if it stays above this level at 197 at any time during the day. I feel like this will be a pullback so that way it can go ahead and get enough steam to get up to that 222. A lot of stuff has been going on, Casey. I've been trying to knock out some things. I'm working on a show for YouTube. TradingView has a little bit of a kink on how to use the streaming tools, so it's been a little bit of a nightmare. And to be honest, it's a really, really good tool. I love how it's done. It kind of gives me like a little bit more control on how I want to be able to present. And I finally got my camera fixed, a whole lot of stuff. So by next year, I should have all my ducks in a row, and then we should be like consistent. 7 to 7:15, spill over to like 7:30, then it gives me enough time to open my floor at 8 a.m. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this. So I'm looking for this thing to kind of like enter around this area in itself, and maybe 198 if it closes above. I'm sorry, 197 to 198. If it closes above that buy that close of today, I would assume that it fills most of this gap that's here, and they just came there just to pick up those levels so that way they could go ahead to go to 222. So I would say look out for 222. That's probably your level. All right, PVH. If you don't know who PVH is, this is a company that has Tommy Hilfiger. I've traded this before. Tommy Hilfiger. I think they picked up some new ones too. Calvin Klein, Heritage. Just quite a few things that they carry over there. So, you know, we're about to go into the retail season. You're very welcome. We're about to go into the retail season right now, so there's going to be a lot of back and forth to try to get it through retail. Probably go into a little bit early to spring, and probably wait for the reports from there, and then you're going to have your dump off. It usually happens around Christmas. This is what usually happens. So if you look at this daily, look at what's happening right now. It came to the entry level, gapped it, and then it just continued to this upside. So this buy signal was that warning sign, and people were just accumulating, and there's a nice explosion, nice $6 to $10 explosion to the upside. So this would have been a really, really good trade for you to take this roughly around the ballpark around mid-October to November. So looking for this one to kind of continue, maybe even get to $87.95 to $91. I don't think we have enough space for us to get to 100, but again, there's a few order blocks over here that's probably going to slow it down, so I don't know if it's going to get that far, but if it does, you look at maybe $99 for TP4, and you're probably going to start really getting into that no man's land in recent times with this one. But I am looking for somewhere around 91, maybe $87 on this one. All right, so let's go ahead and do Casey's. Casey has AVGO, really, really good company. They're the ones that's responsible for the modems that's inside the cell phones. You would not be able to kind of communicate if it wasn't for AVGO. All right. Yeah, Casey, this thing has taken off. I think I love your levels, except your price target. You're saying entry at 1,009. Yeah, but I think it's already. Oh wait, pre-market's already dropping. Yeah, to see if it can find a base. You might wanna like slow down just in case, because right now we had a nice strong run yesterday. It was a big push after the bonds. There's so much things that happened there that I think people are starting to lock in their profits right now, and it's creating this fire sale right now. And plus the Asian session hit key levels that probably made the market was like, okay, let's just start taking our profits from the futures then. But yeah, if they can get above 1,000, then I probably would aim for 1050, and then you could get to that 13.084. Oh no, 13.08 and 47 cents. Let me see what that is. Maybe it's on the weekly. Knowing you, you're probably doing some long-term swings. Yeah, if you don't know Casey, he does like his capitalization. Shares float is only 400 million. He likes those type of stocks. He does not like a lot of the big caps, but he'll play some big caps here and there. But for the most part, he prefers kind of rocking with this. Let's see. Well, on the weekly, 14,444. Especially we just started the buy signal here, so you might be onto something. So that buy signal roughly around November. If you're already in this trade, then you're probably in the best position and probably wouldn't want to stop yourself out right now. Let this weekly hold. You got some imbalances here and here that's giving you a lot of support, and it looks like they're trying to clear this imbalance. Maybe you can use this as a potential order block from about 957 to 942. Hold that area, and then boom, takes off. That's what you need to have happen, and that's a possibility. And the first thing I would say is look out for that 1050. If you don't know who this is basically an ETF that encompasses all the semiconductors and things like AVGO. So if you can't afford to do AVGO, then that's fine. What the hell just happened? Why does it say stream is offline? Okay. All right. I'm not sure what just happened, but it looks like if you are still hearing my voice, we'll get into it. What the hell? Why is it saying stream offline? Okay. All right. All right. So hopefully I'm good. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. The little quirk happened just there. All right. So now SMH is basically coming in. It came and tried to fill this imbalance, but ever since then it said nope, and it has a buy signal here. So I'm looking at this from a weekly standpoint as well. Can it get to 178? Now it is down pre-market because the market is reeling a little bit for the tech area. But yeah, I want to see this get to that 178 to 189. That's what I'm looking for. If you want something a little bit more conservative, and like I said, this is way cheaper than AVGO, and AVGO is weighted in here, and as it moves, it tends to kind of drag the SMH with it. And since Nvidia also pushed up, I gotta check out their earnings. I think their earnings releases. Actually, I want to say their earnings is releasing soon. Hold on, let me see where their earnings is. It tonight or is it right now? I think it might be tonight. Okay, so Nvidia's tonight. So we could be pulling back right now, just as a precaution and letting some other people's friends get on the elevator. If you don't have a good earnings place to find, I do suggest Earning Whisper. It's nice, easy, free. You know what I'm saying? Or your broker might have one too. But this one right here, that's estimated 3.18 and a revenue estimated of 16 billion. I'm looking for them to beat both sides of that. All right, especially the way AMD shot off like a bottle rocket. All right, and yeah, this one does look good for the upside here. It's already at TP4, hence the reason I'm like, it already started running. I don't think they're going to fill any of these gaps down here, but if they did, I don't want ever for this to see 157. So if I took a small position here, I would probably take an average around here, and then I'll try to hold. But the moment that it starts breaking through this order block that's down here, I'll be getting out of my position. That's pretty much my take on that one. What else? I think that's about it. Yeah, actually, I think that is about it. Let me go ahead and grab my stuff. There we go. And if you do not know, I am one of the partner coaches over at Cheat Code. We are going to do a very, very good workshop. If you are struggling with the market and you're like, I don't understand the market or it's driving me nuts, I do suggest that you do sign up for my Bulls, Bears, and Brains, the introduction to market psychology, because this right here will kind of give you a little bit of an insight on how the market thinks. The market doesn't just randomly hit your stop loss. It's impossible. It doesn't know you. You're not that important, I promise you. But if you actually really understand what the market as a collective is thinking, you'll be able to put yourself in a better position and get proper entries. Other than that, that's pretty much it. So thank you. Thank you very much for taking the time. I do aim to be more consistent. We're about to go into the holidays. I am also testing some other cool features that's in this program, so that way I can give you a proper show. By all means, go ahead, hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button on my YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. You don't have a trading community, come over to Cheat Code. I tell you this right now, I do a free floor 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. You know, it is subject to change, but for the most part, I do try to stay consistent, and sometimes we have some fun while we're making some money. All right. So on that note, I bid you farewell till tomorrow. Good morning, my neighbors, and have a great day. I'll see y'all later.